guys, it's your girl Nick and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a come along with me / story time maybe at the end of my labor and delivery of baby number 2. This is a scheduled induction, so headed to the hospital now. I'm super excited to meet my little baby. Today is March the 4th and it's about 6 o'clock. Let's see, I said 6:30 ish. So I have to be there by 8, so we're headed there now and I'm super excited and I can't wait for you guys to come along with this journey with me. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so I'm officially admitted into the hospital. So far I signed all the consents and I did some blood work. So, and I have the baby monitors on. So, I'm eating my food. But it's gonna be there. And we have the little board up with all his information. I don't know if you guys can see. You can zoom in. But yeah, so right now we're just waiting so I could get an IV with some fluids in it. And I believe I'm gonna get Pitocin at 1 a.m. So we're just gonna wait for that. So stay tuned and I'll be back when I get that. Oh my gosh, guys, I just took a COVID test. It wasn't that bad. They did the outer nose. They didn't have to stick it down, so that's good. Because if they had to stick it down my nose, I was not doing that. I promise you, I'm not doing that. Labor me at home, please. But I'll see you guys with an update. I was just so against taking it. And look at me just taking it. My little bean, my little baby. Okay, so it's 5:37 a.m. and I just woke up and I got my IV. Super cold. There was a delay. We had to wait because there was a lot of emergency deliveries that had to be done around the time that I got here, or around the time that I was supposed to get started with everything. But I have been having contractions all throughout the night, and hopefully I'm dilated some more too on my own. So I'm just waiting for the doctor to get me my Pitocin. So if you see the baby's heartbeat, you have to monitor it for a little bit, and then I can get the medicine. So I'm excited for that, but I'm super tired still. So I'm gonna try to get some more sleep before everything kicks in. So see you guys when something else changes. So guys, it's currently 7:23, and just waiting on the doctor to come so he could check to see how much I'm dilated, so I can get my epidural. But I got my Pitocin, and my contractions are really close and really strong. So I need to hurry up because I'm in so much pain. It's not that bad, but it's bad. I just want to sleep. But yeah, I'll come back after. The doctor comes and I get epidural. And it's currently March 5th. So come on, baby boy. It's now 8:38. And the doctor came and took the water about an hour ago. And they tried to give me trash liquids for breakfast. Right. But my contractions are really strong, and I'm just ready for Epidural. Hey guys. Oh, so quick little update. My face looks bad. Okay, quick little update. So I gave birth, and baby Isaiah Lee is here, and I'm in a lot of back pain, and I would show you guys him, but he had to go to the warmer because his temperature was a little low. So now I'm just waiting on him to get back so I could feed him. And yeah, and I'm also waiting on pain medication because my back hurts. But yeah, see you guys later. Hey guys, I know I've been missing for a day or two. I didn't record yesterday, but I'm finally getting to go home after a long, stressful recovery. I'm gonna explain more in my story time. So it's currently 11 o'clock and it's March 7th, and I'm gonna go take a shower. I just got the okay from the doctor that I could go home and the baby could go home. So I'm gonna go take a shower and get ready. So see you guys in my story time. Hey guys, it's your girl Neek, and today we will be doing a story time on my labor and delivery. I know it's been a while. I gave birth 3 weeks ago today. Sorry. If you hear the babies in the background, I'm sorry. I'm being a mommy, so you're gonna hear them. So, yes, I know it's a long overdue, long waited video that I have just not been able to come around to recording because, as some of you may know, I just relocated to California, San Diego, California. So I just been moving and I haven't had the time to record and finish this video. So we're about to do it now. Let's get into it. So let's go. Okay, so we're gonna start off on Saturday, which was I don't even know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know. It was just a Saturday. The Saturday before I gave birth. It was Saturday, and no, actually I lied. It was Friday night, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I guess it's Saturday, but it was Friday night, and I was in a lot of back pain. My whole pregnancy, I was in a lot of back pain, and I just felt like I needed to like do some type of yoga, like some stretches, just to like relieve my back so I could sleep. So I'm doing little stretches on the floor. Sorry, puppy. I'm doing little stretches on the floor, and I feel like water. Like it wasn't a gush, but it was like water. Like it felt like I peed, but I know like I didn't have to pee. Like I always pee. Like if I sneeze, it's because, and if I sneeze and if someone come out, I know, okay, like I had to pee, so I could have expected that. But no, like I didn't have to pee. And it was just a glass of water. So I'm like, oh my gosh, did my water just break? And then I turned on the light and I looked. It was like a towel on the floor, a white towel at that. So I looked, and I'm, no playing with cords, no, stop. So I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not yellow. Like, you know when you used to pee in the bed and you had that yellow ring or that dark ring because it was pee? Yeah, I didn't get that. It was like spotches of like brownish, pinkish, you know? And I'm like, oh my gosh, did my water breaks? But my mom had to work the next morning, and she, you know, my husband was in school at the time, so my mom was gonna be with me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she has to work in the morning. I don't want to bother her because, like, what if it didn't break and she gotta go home and get like 2 hours of sleep? So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep, wake up, and tell my mom in the morning. Or see what she says in the morning, because when it happened, I text her right away so I could have like a timestamp of when it happened. So I text her, it was like 3:00 something. I text her and I told her like, hey, I think my water broke, but I'm not gonna wake you up because I know you have to go to sleep and I'm not 100% sure. And I went to go pee after, so I was like, how could I still have to go pee if this is just, you know, if I just peed on myself, why do I have to go pee again, like right after? So then I went to sleep. The next morning I told her, and she checked on me, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then when I woke up, I told her like what happened. I was stretching, some fluids came out, and I don't know what it is, but I'm not cramping, I'm fine right now. And she's like, okay, call your doctor. So I go to call my doctor, and something told me to listen to the whole thing. Normally, if it's like a weekend or if it's like after hours, they would say, hey, if you're, because I've had a false alarm before. I went into false labor before. So, but I didn't go because when I called, my contractions started off really close together and then they spread apart. So it's supposed to be far and then come together. So they told me that. They just said eat some food and drink some water, like drink a lot of fluids. So that's what I did that time. So this time I didn't have any contractions. So when I called, I'm like, let me just listen to everything. Sorry, I got cut off. So when I called, I ended up calling, and when I called, it said, if it's an emergency, you know, go to call 911. If you're a patient, press 1. And then it was like, if you feel like your water broke, go to the hospital immediately, even if you don't experience contractions. And I'm like, excuse me? Pardon? So I'm like, okay, so that means that I should have been at the hospital. And then I started like Googling what would happen, like if my water broke and the baby has been in there, and it was like, you got a couple hours, sis. And I'm like, okay, Google, no. So I had my mom listen to it. I told my husband, like, call this number and make sure that's what they said. And yeah, my mom was like, okay, well, girl, you gotta wait till 3:30 when I get off, and then we could go. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I still have time before Google said the cutoff was for your baby having issues. So yeah. So 3:30 came around, and we're on our way to the hospital. But me and my mom are just like so out of it. We're just like, okay, let's be prepared. We stopped for gas. We stopped for some ices because it was really hot outside. And I'm like, they're not about to send me home. Like, this is it. I'm ready to meet him. Like, bring it on. So I'm like, let's get some ice, some slushies, so our temperature can go down, because it is hot and I don't want them to send me home because they think I'm sick and just hot. So we stopped for slushies. We were gonna stop for coffee, but I'm like, okay, no, we have to be serious about this. Like, we have to be serious and get going. So we didn't get to the hospital till about like 4:30, almost 5. And yeah, we got there. They did the amniotic swab. That came back negative. Then they did an ultrasound just to make sure. And my fluid was low, so it was leaking, but it just didn't break. So they ended up calling my doctor and sending me home. But in that process of them doing all those tests, I was not trying to leave the hospital, so I remember in one of my appointments, my doctor was like, oh, like, this is one of my patients, you know, messaging me. And there was an app, so I'm like, let me go on the app and do the same thing. So I messaged him, I'm like, I'm at the hospital because I think my water broke, so is it possible that I could get induced just so he can come? And of course, it was a weekend, and it was about like 9 o'clock when all the tests were like being done and had come back. So obviously he's not gonna respond. So on Monday they gave me a call and they were like, can you come in today? So I was like, yes ma'am, I can, let's come in. I came in, the doctor checked me. I was still 2 centimeters, 50% in phase. So I was upset because I'm like, why I'm doing all this walking miles and miles just to get this baby out, and he's just not, no progress, no bueno, nothing. So it just wasn't good for me. Like, it was painful all around. So he's like, okay, tell you what, I don't induce people who are who haven't reached 39 weeks yet. So you're gonna wait until you're 39 weeks. Yes, baby. Not right now. He was like, you're gonna wait till you're 39 weeks, and then we'll see where you are. And if you are, then we'll go ahead and induce you that day. If you aren't, then you're gonna have to wait. So what happened? What's ew? So I'm like, okay, fine. So that was Monday, and I turned 39 weeks on Thursday. So he actually, while I was there on Monday, yes, baby. When I was there, hug, oh, thank you. When I was there on Monday, he actually called the hospital and set up an appointment for that Thursday. So he was like, okay, so if you're good, if everything works out, you face some more, then we're gonna go ahead and induce you. So I went on Thursday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, all right, you're ready, the baby's ready to go. Like, you're still 2 centimeters, but you know, you're good. You could go ahead and get induced now because you're 39 weeks. Like, the baby's officially actually full term. So that's what happened. So 8 o'clock, my appointment came. I had my hospital bags ready. I mean, I already had them ready, but you know, I put them in the car. Then I'm like, okay, let me go see my favorite cousin, okay? One of my favorite cousins, because all my cousins were close. But I was like, let me go see my favorite baby cousin. So I'm like, me and my mom scheduled a time. We're going to take a nap. Then we're going to go see Destiny. And then we're going to go to the hospital. So that's what we did. 6 o'clock came. I got up, got dressed, took a shower, got everything ready. Then I'm like, okay, let's go. We left. We went to go see my cousin. Then we went to go get food because I refuse not to eat before I give birth. I'm sorry, I refuse. So I got my food. I'm trying to eat fast before we get there. Then we get to the hospital, get checked in and whatnot. And I'm going to show you guys the room. So there it is. This is a video of my room. Oh my goodness. I should have probably did it fast and zoom. Oh, I can't wait to see the menu. Oh, this is for my baby. I like that he's right here next to me. And there's the couch. This is a huge room. A place to eat. They have a fridge. I could put my food in the fridge. Stop. What? Big old TV, even though it's far. They don't, oh, they do have a mirror. A little sink area. This is fancy. Oh, in the bathroom, in the shower. Nice. So yeah, that's what the room was looking like. It was really nice. So now getting into the induction. So I was told that I was going to get my Pitocin at 3 o'clock in the morning. No, at 1 o'clock in the morning. Then 3 hours later, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was supposed to get my epidural. So when I got there, it was like, and I got settled, it was like 10, and all the alarms just kept going. Like, so many women needed it, like, you know, needed attention, like, more than I did, because I was basically asking for the induction, and they actually needed, you know, their baby was coming on their own. So they obviously came before me, which I was okay with. I had no problem with, but I was ready to get it rolling. So they came in and they were like, okay, your doctor said to hold off until the morning. We're not gonna send you home, so just, you know, get some rest. So it gets about like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I start to contract on my own. And I'm like, I kept thinking like, oh, it's just the medicine, it's just the medicine. Mind you, I didn't get any medicine. I didn't get any IV. I didn't get anything. So I was just so confused. But I did get a little sleep. I slept a little bit. 5 o'clock came around. And they're like, okay, we called your doctor. Everything calmed down. So we're going to go ahead and get you started with your IV so you can get your Pitocin. And I'm like, okay. At that point, I'm like, I want to do this on my own because I'm already contracting. I think they said 3 to 4 minutes apart. So I'm like, I'm already contracting on my own, so let's just get this ball rolling. But then they checked to see how far I was dilated before giving me the Pitocin to know how much it's been working. And I was still only 2 centimeters. I was getting effaced, like I was opening up more, but I wasn't. Like, it was like 2.5. Like, you're 2.5 centimeters now. You're 3.5 centimeters. So it was going by so slow. Now, on to the act. I got the Pitocin right here. Oh my gosh. There was 2 people giving me an IV. The first lady, she stuck me twice in this arm. And I'm like, I'm slim. You could see my veins so clear. Like, this is where I got Discharge. You see the vein. That's why I got the IV for Discharge, because you clearly see my vein. Like, my veins are so visible. So they stuck me twice in this arm, trying to find that one vein. I'm like showing them where my veins hot spots are. Like, just look for the hot spots. And she's just sticking me, and then she stuck me twice. And I'm like, no ma'am. Someone else came and she just stuck me right here. And I'm like, who does that? That is so uncomfortable. Like, it was literally hurting after they took it out for like 3 to 4 days. Like, it was bruised. It was just bad. On top of that, I had to keep getting blood. Then they did the COVID test. It wasn't that bad. It came out negative, thank God. Yeah, so, oh my gosh, my story is all over the place. I'm so sorry. But, yeah, so I got the Pitocin eventually, and then they just left me for a little bit to just let it work on its own, which it started working. They're like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm ready to have this baby. This hurts. So then it came time for the epidural. And let me tell you, no. Because to this day, my back hurts like I'm still carrying this baby. Like, I feel like I did all of that to get him out for my, like, to ease my back. And I still feel that pain. So just 0 out of 10, don't recommend an epidural for a second time. Some moms do it, but I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't do it again. I don't think I would do epidural again. I would just have to give me different pain medications, but no epidural because no ma'am. So, first of all, I feel like the lady who's done, I don't know, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. The anesthesiologist who gave me my epidural, I feel like she was a student because she also stuck me twice. And even after that, she was getting ready to do it again because the epidural was literally only on one side. And I'm like, ma'am, no. Like, it was heavy on this side and it was missing like, they call it a hot spot. Like, no ma'am, that hurts so bad. So I literally had to lay on my left side just so that way the epidural could be evenly distributed. Don't recommend at all. I don't. Then they had to add and give me pain medication to ease that hot spot that I had. It was just painful. I felt all the contractions out in one spot. It was just bad. But then as soon as that pain medication kicked in, I felt so much pressure. I had to poop. That's what I felt like. I had to poop. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to push. Like, I'm telling them, like, oh, they're like, oh, you're only 7 centimeters, don't push. I'm like, no, this baby is coming. I'm trying to hold it in. They're like, no, you have to breathe. So I'm like, okay, pick one. Either I'm pushing or I gotta breathe. Pick one, please. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna push. And my mom's like, no, don't push. And I'm like, okay, so get the nurse because I'm gonna push. Like, I can't hold it in, I'm gonna push. So the nurse and the doctor comes and she checks. She's like, oh, yes, you're ready. And I'm like, I told you I'm ready. Let's get the baby out. Like, let's get the baby out. So that's what happened. I had a midwife. My doctor didn't deliver me for great reasons, but yeah, he didn't deliver me, which is okay because the midwife was amazing. Did no complaints. So I pushed this baby out in 3 pushes. 3. Uno, dos, tres. 3. So yeah, came right out. I didn't tear. I did get 1 stitch, but I didn't tear. So that's good. So the healing process was pretty fast. He did have a little bit of jaundice, so he had to do the Billy blanket, which is he had to go under the light, basically. He's fine now. He's over his birth weight. He's 3 weeks now. He's gonna be a month next Friday. Mind blowing. I can't believe it. I can't. But what else? Yeah, it was just too much for me. Too much. Want to do it again? Nope. If I do, I don't know what to say. But yeah, so Josiah is such a good big brother. He's adapting so well. He's so sweet and helpful. Yeah, my healing process is going pretty well. Besides my back pain, I had really bad cramping. The first 1.5 weeks, it was terrible cramping. But yeah. So this is 3 weeks postpartum. Get a little closer. I know, you have no stomach, I know, but yeah, no. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos, and yeah.